Hello students, welcome to another lecture of atomic structure. In the last class, if you remember, we stopped at quantum numbers by seeing just its types, right? There were 4 quantum numbers which we have seen, right? Quantum numbers was of 4 types, right? And the first quantum number is principal quantum number. Second was azimuthal quantum number. Third was magnetic quantum number, and the fourth was spin quantum number. And the symbol to be denoted for each is, for principal quantum number, you have to represent it by writing small n. Azimuthal quantum number is by writing small l, and magnetic quantum number is by writing mi, and not capital Mi but rather small mi, and spin quantum number is by writing small s, right? Coming to the first quantum number, the name itself says it is very important, and based on this quantum number, based on the principal quantum number only, you will get the remaining 3 quantum numbers, right? So, principal quantum number is nothing but the quantum number which decides majorly the size of the shell. Say if this is the nucleus, we know around nucleus there are many orbits, or you can call it as shells also, right? And that shells are called as main shells, in which there will be many subshells, right? Each main shell has many subshells in it, and in that subshells you will find orbitals, and in that orbitals you will find electrons, right? These are main shells. One line, one circle is first shell, second circle is second shell, third circle is third shell, right? So, each shell, as you go from first shell to second shell till nth shell, as the value of n increases, what happens is electrons are moving away from the nucleus. Is it? Electrons are moving away from the nucleus. They are going far away from the nucleus. That means as they are having more energy, then only they are able to go away from the nucleus. That means the ones who are near the nucleus, having less number or having less energy, will be near to the nucleus. So, as n value increases, as the principal quantum number increases, energy of the main shell also increases, and this principal quantum number only decides what is the energy of that main shell, and even size of the main shell. The more the energy, the more away it goes, and its size will also be larger, right? So, principal quantum number decides, principal quantum number decides energy of the main shell as well as size of the main shell. Its value starts from 1, because you cannot have a shell which is 0. Therefore, you cannot even have a shell which has 0 energy. Therefore, n value has to start from 1. N values are positive integers starting from 1, 2, 3 till nth shell, till nth value. N values are starting from 1 till nth, right? each main shell is having value from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and that shell is labeled as capital K, L, M, N and so on, right. The first main shell is this ring, which is also called as K shell. Second ring is called as L shell. Third is called as capital M. Fourth is called as capital N, right. These are all the name of the main shells, right. So each shell has how many subshells are indicated by n square. What is the value of n? That much square are the number of subshells inside the main shells. Each main shell has a total of n square subshells. That means first main shell has how many subshells? 1 square, meaning 1. First main shell has only 1 subshell. Second main shell has 4 subshells inside it. Second main shell has 4 subshells inside it. Same goes for even the next subshells, right. Third main shell has 9 subshells inside it. Each main shell has how many subshells is indicated by the formula n square, right. So this is about principal quantum number. Please copy so that we will move towards the next quantum number. Going to the next quantum number, we have azimuthal quantum number, or you can also call it as angular momentum quantum number. To determine this quantum number, you should know in order of principal quantum number first. Without knowing principal quantum number, you cannot determine orbital angular momentum quantum number. Not just for this, for all the quantum numbers, previous quantum numbers should be known, then only you can know the other or the following quantum numbers. Coming to the second type, angular momentum quantum number. Angular momentum quantum number decides the orientation of orbitals in the space. That means in which direction are the orbitals oriented in space. Is it in x direction or in y direction, or are they present in the form of a spherical shape, or are they present in the form of double shells? That is the way we represent angular momentum quantum number, which means how the orbitals are nothing but in a main shell there will be subshells, I told, right. That subshells are nothing but orbitals. In each subshell there will be many orbitals, right. Each subshell has how many orbitals, that also we will see, right. So what you have to know now is, by knowing principal quantum number you can determine angular momentum quantum number, I told. If n value starts from 0, if n value starts from 1, L value starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and the maximum L value can be 1 less than the N value. So starting value for L will be 0 and the maximum value possible for L will be N minus 1, right. One value lesser than N will be the largest value for L, or angular momentum quantum number, right. So now let us look at what are the L values for each N value. n value, what was the first n value? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? For principal quantum number 1, L value started from how much? 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, like that you should have. That means in the first main shell, how many subshells are there? That you have to decide first. Okay? Starting point is 0, ending point is n minus 1 I told. That means how many will come in between? That has to be decided by the formula number of L values are equal to n value. That means first main shell has one subshell, second main shell has two subshells, third main shell has three subshells, fourth main shell has four subshells, right? So first main shell has got how many? Only one, and you got one value. One subshell only, and that is 0. Coming to the second, what is the second main shell should have how many subshells? 1, 2. What is the first value? 0 and 1. Third main shell has how many subshells? 3. Starting from 0, 1, 2. Fourth main shell has how many subshells? 4. Starting from 0, 1, 2 and 3. So now let us apply whether it is coming to be correct or not. Starting value for L is 0 and last value will be n minus 1. For first main shell, n minus 1, if it is 1 minus 1 is nothing but 0, right? Ending is coming correct or not? Yes. Ending for this, 2 minus 1, 1, correct. 3 minus 1, 2, correct. 4 minus 1, 3, correct, right? So L value starts from 0 and ends at n minus 1. In that main shell, number of subshells are equal to the nth shell only. Nth shell has n number of subshells. First main shell has only one subshell. Second main shell has two subshells. Third main shell has three subshells. Fourth main shell has four subshells. What is the value of that subshell of the first shell? 0. What are the values of that two subshells? 0 and 1. What are the values of that third main shell? 0, 1, 2. Fourth main shell? 0, 1, 2, 3. Right? So now, if these are the L values, it belongs to which orbitals? If L values are these, which orbital it comes under? Let us look at. Right? So now you always remember that if L value is 0, if we already wrote that angular momentum quantum number decides spatial orientation of the orbitals in which direction they are oriented. Right? This is s orbitals. Are there any nodes in this orientation? No. That means probability of finding the electron is equal at all the places. Right? Darker regions are there throughout the circles. You are not having any nodal plane or nodal point in this type of orientation. Number of nodes are 0. That means shape of the orbital is S. Whenever the value for L is coming out to be 0, that means there are no nodal points in that direction. That means anywhere throughout the circle, inside the circle, the probability of electron is equal at all the points there is no such point in which you can say electron may not come. Electron can be present at any point of the circle. Therefore, no node, and that orbital is called as s orbital. Its shape is spherical. Number of L values are equal to nth shell. If fourth shell means 4 L values, fifth shell means 5 L values. Like that point indicates how many number of subshells are there is indicated by which main shell it is. Now coming to the shape. For s orbital, the shape is spherical. Right? Coming to the next, that was first main shell. In the first main shell, there is only one subshell and it has only s orbital and it has got spherical shape. Right? It is very small, it is very near to the nucleus, therefore its energy will be very less. Now let us go to the second main shell. In the second main shell, how many subshells will come? 2 subshells. What are the values of that 2 subshells? 0 and 1. If 0 subshell is there, if subshell value is 0, that means that subshell is called as s subshell and it has s orbital and it will be same spherical in shape. If L value is coming to be 1, that means the subshell is nothing but P subshell. The subshell is nothing but P subshell. What is the value of L? 1. That means in the orientation of the diagram, there will be one point in which the probability of finding the electron is 0 and that point is called as nodal point. How many such points can you see? Only one. Therefore, L value for this is only 1. Whichever subshell has L value 1, that subshell is called as P subshell. Whichever subshell is having L value 1, that means it is called as P subshell, and P subshell will have P orbitals and the shape of that P orbitals are like dumbbell. That means the chances of finding the electron is high at the top, high at the bottom in this direction, and at the nodal point there are no chances of finding the electron. One nodal point is there. Therefore, that subshell is called as P subshells and it has got P orbitals and its shape is dumbbell. Right? Coming to the third main shell. You understood about 2 main shells. First has only one subshell, that is S. Second has 2 main shells, that is S subshell and P subshell. Coming to the third. Third has 3 main subshells. One is S subshell, second one is P subshell and the third one will be D subshell. S is spherical, P is dumbbell and D will be double dumbbell. Why it is double dumbbell? Why its value is coming out to be 2 is now let us look at. These lobes are facing at the top and these lobes are perpendicular to the top lobes. That means there are 2 planes. Both of them are perpendicular to each other. Both of them has its own node. One node is for top lobes, another node is for these 2 lobes. Therefore, how many nodes you are able to get here? 2. So, whichever subshells are getting nodal points 2, it is called as D subshell and the orientation of the lobes are like double dumbbell. One dumbbell facing horizontally and the other dumbbell facing vertically, right? Therefore, that shape will be double dumbbell. Right? The same continues for fourth main shell also. Fourth main shell has 4 subshells. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 is for S subshell, 1 is for P subshell, 2 is for D subshell and 3 is for F subshells, right? So now let us look at how many orbitals are present in each subshell. Till now what we have seen was, first that rings which you are seeing are main shells, okay. Inside these main shells, who will be there? Subshells. Inside that subshells, who will be there? Orbitals. Inside that orbitals, who will be there? Electrons, right? So now, if you want to know which main shell is present, that is nothing but principal quantum number, okay. Principal quantum number decides the energy, size and stability of main shell. Angular momentum quantum number decides the spatial orientation of subshells. Spatial orientation of subshells. Sorry. Spatial orientation of subshells is decided by angular momentum quantum number. Third quantum number is magnetic quantum number. It means in which direction are the orbitals present in a subshell. Orbitals are present in facing in which direction? Is it in x-axis, or is it in y-axis, or is it in z-axis, or is it in between the axis or not? That directions of the orbitals will be decided by magnetic quantum number. Coming to the last quantum number, which is spin quantum number, it will decide that inside the orbital electrons are rotating or revolving in which direction. Is it revolving in a clockwise direction, or is it revolving in an anti-clockwise direction? That will be decided by spin quantum number. Principal quantum number decides main shells. Angular momentum quantum number decides subshells. Magnetic quantum number decides orbitals. Spin quantum number decides spin of the electron. Spinning means rotating continuously. How they are spinning? Clockwise or anti-clockwise, right? So this is the order. Please note down this and we will go for the next quantum number. Coming to the magnetic quantum number, it is indicated by small mi. You can determine the magnetic quantum number by knowing angular momentum quantum number. Therefore, if L value is given to you, how you can determine m value or magnetic quantum number is, magnetic quantum number decides in which direction are the orbitals facing. Is it in x, y or z axis, or is it in between the axis or not? What is the direction of the orbitals? Direction of orbitals, shape of the orbitals, will be decided by magnetic quantum number, and its value starts from, if you know L value, m value starts from minus L to 0 to plus L, right? Magnetic quantum number value starts from minus L, goes to 0 and then comes till plus L. Least value will be minus L and highest value will be plus L. In between you will have the other integers, right? So now let us look at what are the possible m values for the given L values. Till now we have seen how many L values? We have seen 0 L value, that was for S subshell, 1 that was for P subshell, 2 that was for D subshell, right? and 3 that was for F subshell, and it goes on, right? If the value of L is 0, that subshell is called as S subshell, and it has how many orbitals? You start writing minus 0, 0, plus 0. Are they all same? Yes. So, only 0. How many orbitals it has? Only 1. Right? Only 1, that is nothing but 0. No direction. It is spherical. Second subshell is P. P subshell values starts from minus 1, 0, plus 1. Total how many M values? Starting from minus L till plus L. Total 1, 2, 3. How many orbitals are there inside the P subshell? There are 3 orbitals inside P subshell. Coming to D subshell, starting from minus L till plus L, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside the D subshell, there are 5 orbitals. Inside the D subshell, there are 5 orbitals. Coming to the F subshell, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Total 7 orbitals are there inside F subshell. Inside F subshell, there will be 7 orbitals. S subshell has only 1 orbital, P subshell has 3 orbitals, D subshell has 5 orbitals, and F subshell has 7 orbitals. Let us look at each and every orbitals of each and every subshell. Right? S subshell, S orbital is simply like this. Right? P subshell, how many orbitals was there? 1, 2 and 3. One is facing in X direction, other is facing in Y direction, and the other is facing in Z direction. Therefore, one is called as Px, other is called as Py, and the other is called as Pz. That means minus 1, 0 and plus 1. These are all p orbitals. How many p orbitals are there? 3 p orbitals. First is oriented in x direction, therefore px. Second is in y direction, therefore py. Third is in z direction, therefore pz. Coming to the d subshell, it has how many orbitals? 5. One is dxy, other is dyz, other is dxz. I am changing the axis, okay, but they are all same only. Other is xy, xz and yz are in between the axis. This is dxy. It means the d orbitals are facing in the direction neither in x nor in y. It is in between x and y. It is in between x and y. Therefore, it is called as xy. And this is yz. And this is xz. The other is x square minus y square. And the other is dz square. So d subshell has 5 orbitals. One is dxy, which means in between x and y. dyz, which means in between y and z. xz means in between x and z. Other is on x axis as well as y axis, and the other is on z axis. So these are all the orbitals starting from minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. Minus 1, 0, plus 1. and 0 only. F subshell you don't need. Till now you see what are the shapes of different orbitals which are present inside the subshell. Based on these we can easily fill the electrons inside the orbitals. After filling we can determine the spin quantum number of any given electron by following some set of rules. Okay, please copy down and thank you. Let's meet in other lecture.